Let's talk about the oil and gas space. The APM pricing, the mechanism via which gas prices are decided, according to which it will increase from the 1st of April. What would the impact of that be on city gas distribution companies, the likes of IGL and MGL? Sonal is here to tell us more. Sonal?
Mangalam, every 6 months the prices are increased for gas, and this gas is used as raw materials for the likes of IGL, MGL, Gujarat Gas, fertilizer companies, and of course it will be positive for the likes of ONGC, Oil India and Reliance because they produce this gas. So overall, Jefferies is saying that based on the average prices of these gas producing states of countries like Canada, US and UK, this time there could be a hike of around 13% from April 2019. But this will not really damper the performance of CGD companies because this time around rupee has strengthened and they have enough headroom to increase their prices to pass on the hike in APM prices. So there is sufficient headroom to pass through any operating expenditure inflation, INR depreciation and also hike in dealer margins is what Jefferies is saying. They're also saying that they are expecting CGD companies to hike in prices despite the fact that they can actually, they can take whatever hit they will take in terms of increase in the gas prices. Apart from that, it will be slightly negative for the fertilizer companies because of course it will hit their margins because of higher prices. So overall, it will be positive for the likes of ONGC, Oil India, slightly negative for the city gas distribution companies if they do not increase their prices, and definitely negative for the fertilizer companies.
All right, thanks a lot for that. We'll also keep an eye out on a couple of these ceramics companies because gas accounts for about 20 to 25% of their total expenditure. But let's move on to the rural space now. We've been getting corporate voices. Top companies such as Mahindra & Mahindra, Dabur, they've warned of a potential slowdown in revenue, especially in the rural areas. But on the other hand, Procter & Gamble has said all is well and does remain bullish on India. Priya Shed joins us with more details on what these companies are expecting going forward.
Well, over the last few weeks, we have seen several companies raise the red flag on demand and rural demand in particular. Today, auto major M&M said that it expects tractor sales to slow down this year and drew a direct link to the slackening of demand to low agriculture output.
So right now, I think in the short term, one key driver of why demand is low is the agri prices, the agri output prices. The second, of course, was that the Rabi crop was not as good as people expected. And that's really what led to the slowdown in the Rabi strongholds post the festival season or through the festival season.
And it's not just auto companies. White good makers like Symphony and V-Guard are also worried. Symphony, which primarily makes air coolers, did not mince its words. It said consumer demand is pretty bad and also admitted that its margins will be impacted this year. V-Guard, which also makes air coolers and stabilizers, said demand environment is weak and their revenue growth could be below guided levels.
So obviously the demand environment is weak in the country. So, we are lagging by almost 3 to 4% from what we would like to be as far as growth in revenues is concerned. There is some slowness in the market. So some companies are delaying price hikes. So we are also not able to take the same. Having said that, off late, maybe end of during the month of Feb, we have taken some price increases.
Well, FMCG companies seem to be divided on the issue of demand. Now, Dabur believes that there is a slowdown largely due to rural distress. The company also pointed at prolonged winters as one of the potential reasons for the subdued demand.
Well, there is a slackening of demand, there's no doubt about that, and that's both in rural and urban. It's a consequence, obviously, of tight liquidity, agrarian distress and joblessness. But we do hope that this is a temporary phenomena. I think the stimulus which was promised by the government has not yet flown in, but it will over the next few weeks.
Well, Dabur is concerned, but Procter & Gamble is not. The India head of P&G told CNBC-TV18 that the company is very bullish on India. In fact, he claimed that growth in the second half of the last year was in double digits, and he does not expect this pace of growth to change drastically.
Top line has been 15% plus and volume has been strong double digit as well. So far we are seeing continued strong bullish growth on volume. We don't expect the growth rates to change dramatically. I mean, there are many theories of what could be the positives and negatives that could happen leading up to the election.